the top, it's time for the video to drop, and today we're bringing you guys the third developer journal for TEW 2020. And if you don't know what a developer journal is, it's basically whenever there's a new TEW game coming out, which is the booking game that this channel was established on, they always drop a developer journal where they announce features throughout the journal. So we are on the third entry now, and let's go ahead and get right on into it. Number 3, on the fly booking. This will be a very short journal entry for a very large change. TEW 2020 will feature on the fly booking for the first time. This means that when you're running a show, you can drop out of the live event and go back to the booking screen whenever you like. Obviously, you won't be able to alter segments that have already taken place, but you can edit the rest of the show. This allows for both proactive and reactive changes. In the former camp, you might feel you're losing the crowd, so you move one of your more exciting matches forward in order to wake them back up. You might want to change someone's character details so that they can work multiple matches on the same show under different identities. As far as reacting goes, injuries or audibles might force you to rebook parts of the show, or you may just be so impressed or horrified by someone's performance that you want to rebook a later segment to add them in or write them out. All in all, this just gives you a lot of extra flexibility and makes shows feel much more like a real-life experience. Man, what an addition! I never even thought about this. I never thought about this, but now that it's here and I'm reading it, on the fly booking should have been in ages ago. Honestly, it really should have been. But the fact that we're finally getting it now, that's game changing. That's actually going to be really good for the series too on TEW 2020 here on the YouTube channel, because you guys will see the booking process. If at some point an injury pops off and I'm like, wait a minute, we got to rebook some things here. We can't go through with this. That's insane. I honestly can't even begin to fathom how much it's going to change my booking philosophy on TEW 2020, because that is a huge monumental change to the game. And really, when you think about it, that's actually more realistic than anything's ever been, because you're here the horror stories of WCW back in the day, back in those later years of WCW, where they would literally be changing the script on the hour of the show. The second hour wouldn't even be planned during the first hour, and then boom. That stuff like that, being able to replicate, for better or worse. I mean, let's be honest here, you might not want to replicate that style of booking. But hey, if you do, the option's here now. And the thing that I like about this is that, notice something that I was even going to mention was that you could change someone's character up in the middle of the show. You could have someone working 2 different gimmicks now, which is great. I love ideas like that, and I love things like that, because if you look at someone like a Suicide character and like a Christopher Daniels, or a Suicide and a Kaz, or a Suicide and a TJP, or a Suicide and a Caleb Khan. But nevertheless, it's kind of crazy that you could do that now, because a lot of lucha companies also do that in the same way that TNA uses Suicide, or Manic, either way. Then they use a similar thing like that in a lot of lucha libre companies, where they have great talent that can work different gimmicks, and they'll just use those guys and just pay them to keep doing double matches. And that's going to be a lot of that's going to help out a lot in terms of smaller companies booking smaller companies in TEW 2020. I feel like that in itself is going to be very good, because like I said, I mean, you're going to be able to have a smaller roster. You can have double gimmicks if you're putting one of them under a hood or a mask. And it's just going to make the world go round, because now I'm thinking of ideas for a local to global game. And man, you could really book you could have a small roster 12 guys, but yeah, that doubles it to 24 if you give everyone a gimmick under a mask as well. Now, I wonder how that would work potentially, but when it comes to changing up the character and stuff like that. But that's definitely got to be something we're going to test at some point whenever the game does come out. Now, I love the fact that this update, while it does seem short in terms of the journal entry, it is such a monumental change, because now it makes you reimagine how you're playing the game. It makes you think about things that you wouldn't normally do, but now you have the opportunity of doing, so now you can finally change things on the fly. And it makes you wonder, if you see someone's character isn't working, or if there's a new, if you see a gimmick's not really working, you maybe be able to, fix it up a little bit. You might be able to fix it up a little bit on the fly right before their big match. Say Sting's gimmick isn't working, but you got him in the main event. You want that main event to do better, you might want to book an on-the-fly segment to switch up that gimmick a little bit. I mean, I'm just saying. Situations like that could occur. And situations like that, I feel like, are definitely going to be game-changing now for TEW 2020. And like it says, even on the thing, I mean, it's not the biggest entry, but it might just be the most important entry thus far, obviously, other than my favorite entry, which is still the very first announcement, being able to play as child companies or developmental companies, whichever way you want to say it. Now, going forward, I think the on-the-fly booking honestly is going to be the most used feature, which that goes without saying. I feel like on-the-fly booking, obviously, I feel like everyone's going to be using this every single show now. I don't think there's going to be many people that stick to the old thing of, oh, we're booking a script out, we're just going to run straight through with the script. We don't have any reason to change it. I feel like everyone's going to at least try to rebook things around their show whenever they're doing that. And now, honestly, with the way that the crowd work, like the way that crowd reaction works, I might actually even use the crowd reaction the way it's meant to be used now. And like actually like working the show up, building the crowd up, settling the crowd down before a main event, building them back up, etc. Like I might actually try to use those waves now in TW 2020. This just made me rethink how I'm going to play TW 2020, and that's a good thing. But that'll about wrap it up for this one, though, guys. Not going to keep you here too long for this one. Appreciate everyone that came through. If you are new, go and hit that subscribe button. We're on the road to 2K. If you're already subscribed, go and hit that bell so every single time we upload. Leave a like if you enjoyed the video. And as always and forever, take it easy, guys. Peace.